U.S. District Court Judge Jed Rakoff absolutely tore into Wall Street corruption and crimes and the government compliance with those crimes as well. He basically says that the statute of limitations is about to be up for everything that happened in the 2008 Great Recession and the subprime mortgage crisis. And he asks very simply, why have no high-level executives been prosecuted? He says, quote, the stated opinion of those government entities asked to examine the financial crisis overall is not that no fraud was committed. Quite the contrary. The Financial Crisis Inquiry Commission, in its final report, used variations of the word fraud no fewer than 157 times in describing what led to the crisis, concluding that there was a systemic breakdown not just in accountability, but also in ethical behavior. So he's saying there's no lack of crimes to punish here, so why are you not punishing them? If we actually abide by the principle that justice is blind, the law is supposed to be blind, it's supposed to apply equally to the rich and the poor, well, that's not what's happening here. He says, quote, to a federal judge who takes an oath to apply the law equally to rich and to poor, this excuse, sometimes labeled too big to jail, is disturbing, frankly, in what it says about the department's apparent disregard for equality under the law. So it's almost as if the Justice Department is corrupt and bought off by Wall Street, and the politicians affecting the Justice Department are also bought off by Wall Street. No, corruption in the United States of America? I doubt it. He says, quote, companies do not commit crimes, only their agents do, and while a company might get the benefit of some such crimes, prosecuting the company would inevitably punish, directly or indirectly, the many employees and shareholders who were totally innocent. Moreover, under the law of most U.S. jurisdictions, a company cannot be criminally liable unless at least one managerial agent has committed the crime in question. So why not prosecute the agent who actually committed the crime? So he's saying you could do these bullshit nonsense, okay, Citigroup, we're going to fine you $500 million. Oh, that's probably going to hurt you, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, Bank of America, we're going to fine you guys X amount of money. Oh, that might hurt you. Yeah. And, of course, the reality is the amount of money that these big banks get fined, investment banks get fined, Wall Street firms get fined, it's nothing. It's like a day's pay, not even. And it doesn't disincentivize them from doing the same kind of garbage that got us into the problem in the first place. It doesn't stop them from committing fraud like Goldman Sachs did, for example. It doesn't stop them from wrecking the economy because they're so concerned about short-term profits that they will sacrifice the long-term viability of the entire economy and their own companies. So the answer, I actually have the answer to what Judge Rakoff is talking about here, and I think he knows the answer too. He's just being largely rhetorical. The reality is, I mean, we have a government that is totally bought by Wall Street. I mean, how else, think about this, how else can you account for what happened with the bailout? Now, remember, it's always the conservative Republicans, it's always the establishment that tells us that capitalism is great. If you fail, you fail. It's the rugged truth. You just weren't good enough to make it in the market. And free market, laissez-faire free market, basically the way that works is if you do wrong, sorry, you're out of business and you don't have a job. Now that's exactly what should have happened to all of Wall Street. You know, how many places went under? How many different banks went under? They like all needed a bailout. But now all of a sudden, when they're in trouble, all of a sudden the free market principles go out the window and they all become socialists. They all say, our government, rush in and save us. Please give us all the money you can, all the welfare you can. And what you've done is you've now incentivized them to do the same thing again because there's no consequences for their actions. So they do bad and the government will rush in and save them again because, oh, they're too big to fail. And, oh, yeah, they're too big to jail also. And, again, the root of the problem is that this can only happen in a society where Wall Street paid the politicians to begin with. So there was an implicit understanding that if we fuck up the economy and if we tank our own companies, you're going to rush in and save our ass. Because remember, it was us that donated that $1 million to you last time around to your super PAC when you were running for re-election.